From translation, ISV International Standard Version. This 31 day of the year. Today we are reading passages Exodus 39 to 40. Exodus chapter 39, verses 1 to 43. From the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, they made the special garments for ministering in the holy place. They made the holy garments for Aaron, as the Lord had commanded Moses. The ephod was made of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and finely spun linen. They hammered out thin sheets of gold and cut them into threads to be worked into the blue, purple, scarlet, and linen fabric. They made shoulder pieces for it, joined together at its two ends. The skillfully woven waistband on it was of the same material as the ephod, gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and finely spun linen, as the Lord had commanded Moses. They mounted onyx stones, enclosed in settings of gold filigree, and engraved them like seal engravings with the names of the sons of Israel. He placed them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He made the breastpiece, the work of a skilled craftsman, in the same style as the ephod, made of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and finely spun linen. It was square and doubled over, a span long and a span wide. They inlaid it with 4 rows of mounted stones, a row of carnelian, chrysolite, and beryl, the second row a turquoise, a sapphire, and an emerald, the third row a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. The fourth row a chrysolite, an onyx, and a jasper. They were mounted in gold settings. The stones were engraved according to the names of the sons of Israel, 12 stones, 1 for each name, engraved like seal engravings, each with its name. For the breastpiece they made braided chains of pure gold, like cords. They made 2 gold filigree settings and 2 gold rings, and attached the 2 rings to the 2 settings at the 2 edges of the breastpiece. They attached the 2 gold chains to the 2 rings at the edges of the breastpiece. They attached the other ends of the 2 chains to the 2 settings and attached them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod, at the front. They made 2 gold rings and attached them to the 2 edges of the breastpiece, on its inner side, facing the ephod. They made 2 gold rings and attached them to the bottom of the ephod's 2 shoulder pieces, on its front edge, close to its seam. They tied the breastpiece to the ephod by its rings with a blue cord, so that it might be on the band of the ephod and not be loosed from the ephod, as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made the robe of the ephod entirely of blue cloths, with an opening for the head in the middle of it, with a woven binding around the opening, so that it would not tear. Along the hem of the robe they made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. They made bells of pure gold and attached them between the pomegranates around the hem of the robe, a bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, all around the hem of the robe to minister in, as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made the tunics of fine linen, the work of a weaver, the turban of fine linen, the ornate headbands for the turbans, and the undergarments of finely spun linen. The sash was made of finely spun linen, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, the work of an embroiderer, as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made the plate, the holy diadem of pure gold, and on it they engraved, Holy to the Lord. They tied it to the turban with a blue cord, as the Lord had commanded Moses, so it would be on the front of the turban. Thus all the work on the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, was completed. The Israelites had done everything just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then they brought the tabernacle to Moses. The tent and all its furnishings, its clasps, frames, crossbars, posts, and bases, the covering of ram skins dyed red, and the covering of fine leather above it, the ark of the testimony and its poles, and the mercy seat, the table with all its utensils and the bread of the presence, the pure lampstand with its lamps set in order, with all its utensils, and the oil for the light, the golden altar with the anointing oil, and the screen for the entrance to the tent, the bronze altar with its bronze grating, its poles and all its utensils, and the basin with its stand, the curtains of the courtyard with its posts and bases, and the screen for the gate of the courtyard, its ropes and tent pegs, and all the furnishings for the service of the tabernacle, for the tent of meeting, the woven garments for ministering in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments for his sons to serve as priests. The Israelites had done all the work according to everything that the Lord had commanded Moses. Moses inspected all the work and saw that they had done it just as the Lord had commanded. So Moses blessed them. Exodus chapter 40, verses 1 to 38. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, On the first day of the first month you are to set up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Place the ark of the testimony in it, and partition off the ark with the curtain. Bring in the table and set out the things on it. Bring in the lampstand and set up its lamps. Place the gold altar of incense in front of the ark of the testimony, and put the curtain at the entrance to the tent. Place the altar of burnt offering in front of the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Place the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. Set up the courtyard around the tabernacle, and place the screen at the entrance to the courtyard. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and everything in it. Consecrate it and all its furnishings, so that it will be holy. Anoint the altar of burnt offering and all its utensils. Consecrate the altar, and it will be especially holy. Anoint the basin and its stand, and consecrate them. Bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. Then dress Aaron in the holy garments, anoint him, and consecrate him to serve me as a priest. Bring his sons and dress them in tunics, and anoint them, as you anointed their father, so that they may serve me as priests. Their anointing will be a permanent ordinance for them throughout their generations. Moses did everything just as the Lord had commanded him. So the tabernacle was set up on the first day of the first month, in the second year after the Israelites had come out of the land of Egypt. Moses set up the tabernacle. He laid its bases and placed its frames, inserted its crossbars and set up its posts. He spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering of the tent on top of it, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He took the testimony and placed it in the ark, attached the poles to the ark, and put the mercy seat on top of it. He brought the ark into the tabernacle, partitioned off the ark with the curtain, and placed the mercy seat on top of the ark. So he brought the ark into the tabernacle and put the curtain in place, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the table in the tabernacle, on the north side of the tabernacle, outside the curtain, and set out the bread on it before the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the lampstand in the tabernacle, opposite the table, on the south side of the tabernacle, and set up the lamps before the Lord, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the gold altar of incense in front of the curtain of the testimony, and burned fragrant incense on it, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the screen at the entrance to the tabernacle. He placed the altar of burnt offering in front of the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and offered on it the burnt offering and the grain offering, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He placed the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it for washing. Moses and Aaron and his sons used it to wash their hands and feet. They would wash whenever they entered the tent of meeting, and whenever they approached the altar, as the Lord had commanded Moses. He erected the courtyard around the tabernacle and placed the screen at the entrance to the courtyard. So Moses finished the work. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses was not able to enter the tent of meeting because the cloud remained on it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Whenever the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the Israelites would set out on all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, they would not set out until the day when it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was over the tabernacle by day, and fire was in it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys.